What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Omar, and if you're new here, thank you guys for clicking. Welcome. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section and like the video. So before we get into the video, I just want to say, through the first night of full-out preseason, it was great to watch. I paid most attention to Orlando and Boston. It was great to have fans back into the arena. It was loud in the TD Garden. It was a great atmosphere. I'm very excited for this season. And the play with Steph Curry, it's great to see that that's not a foul anymore. Offensive players can't initiate contact and get stupid calls. It's going to be interesting to see how players like Steph, Harden, Trae Young adapt to it, but we'll see as the season goes on. But today, we are going to talk about the Miami Heat. Now, I get no pleasure in saying this, but the Miami Heat are going to be extremely dangerous this year in the Eastern Conference. So let's just get right into it. First, you have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. You don't really have to say much about Bam. He's a great defensive center. He's improved on his playmaking every year. He's a scorer who can shoot the ball. I expect nothing else from Bam Adebayo. I think Jimmy Butler, can't say much anything bad about Jimmy. Great on both ends of the court. Is able to create his own shot, create for his teammates. Two amazing players. Now, Kyle Lowry. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about Kyle Lowry, but you have to understand what he did. Now, this is nothing against Goran Dragic, but Goran Dragic is a very good player. He's very crafty. He's able to get to a spot, score whenever he wants to. He's a good player, but Kyle Lowry is a better defender than Goran Dragic, and I believe he's also just a better overall player than Dragic. So that is upgrade at the starting point guard position that's going to improve this team on both ends of the floor. I think this signing has gone a little underrated as the season goes on. A lot of people still talk about Chicago, but really have ignored this signing for Miami. Now let's talk about the rest of the roster. So the Heat also have a lot of solid players on the roster, specialists. You have a specialist in Duncan Robinson and another shooting specialist, which we'll get to a little bit later, but a specialist in Duncan Robinson, who started for the majority of the year last year for the Miami Heat. In my opinion, I don't know what role Spoelstra has in store for him, but I would really assume that he would still be starting. But I could also see a lineup that would actually extremely work for him off the bench, and we'll get to why I think that later. PJ Tucker, a great pickup from Milwaukee, someone who's going to defend a very, very high level. It could easily play the 4 next to Bam Adebayo, who can switch to the 5. The Heat can switch all at this point in time between Bam and PJ Tucker, simply because he played the center in Houston when they decided to go extremely small. I think it's going to work extremely well for Miami. So I really like the signing of PJ Tucker. I was very surprised when Milwaukee was not able to resign him. And now you have Morris and Dedmon. I like those pickups a lot to bring back Dedmon back to Miami. I like the Morris pickup a lot. It brings a lot of defense and a lot of shooting ability. Morris has just another 3-and-D player that can spread the floor, but still a strong defensive player who's going to play within his role, not really do too much, not play out of his lane. Same thing when doing Dedmon. He's a very solid backup center. Has worked extremely well throughout his career to start expanding his range. Always a strong roller, finisher around the rim, a good shot blocker, rim protector, exactly what the Heat needed from in a backup center role. Is again, you have to go with the veteran route. Precious Achiuwa is going to take time to develop, and that's what it took to get Kyle Lowry from Toronto. So it is what it is. I think Dwayne Dedmon is a very capable backup center. Now, Struss is just another knockdown shooter, especially like Duncan Robinson. I think this is a very, very quiet pickup for Miami this offseason. I think it's going to work out great. But these guys is what I would consider floor raisers. Very solid veterans, solid players are going to help you win games in the regular season. But the ceiling raisers are going to fall on Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, for whatever reason, has gotten a lot of track for not having the greatest year last season. Now, a lot of that has to do because of what he did in the bubble. He seemed to take a huge step forward in the bubble, being this clutch player who would make clutch plays and lead a Heat in multiple playoff games and be the reason why the Heat won playoff series. Now, last year he wasn't capable of doing that. The Heat played horrible in the four games that they ended up getting swept by Milwaukee. That goes from Jimmy Butler down. This season, Tyler Hero has a lot. He said he's gonna wake up a lot of people. We'll see if that's what happens. And if that's the case, again, preseason overreactions are the best overreactions. But if Tyler Hero is able to even be close to what he was in the bubble, I think he'll be extremely vital to this Heat team if they want to compete for a championship this season. Now, I like the idea of Tyler Hero starting next to Kyle Lowry simply because a guy like Victor Oladipo, who's coming back from injuries, obviously going to be better off coming off the bench to work on himself and then possibly even maybe start when it comes to playoff time. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think Oladipo should be starting when he's fully healthy? But I like the tandem of Oladipo and Duncan Robinson off the bench. Personally, I think it would give Oladipo more room. Or maybe I personally like the tandem giving Victor more room and get back to a skill set. And eventually, if Oladipo does become the starter, be another ball handler that could play off the ball, be in rhythm with Kyle Lowry, or vice versa. If it is Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, you have two ball handlers in the backcourt. Tyler Hero played a lot of backup point guard for the Heat last year. But we'll see what the Miami Heat plan to do. But the Heat have a very deep team and a very good team. Just a lot of things have to go right for this Heat team to do well. Tyler Hero and Oladipo especially have to, in Victor's case, come back from injury. He's likely not to be what he was in Indiana, but has to be closer to what Oladipo can be. Oladipo is still a very good defender. He can create his own shot, a good shooter, not a great shooter, but a good shooter from beyond the arc, finisher around the rim. Tyler Hero has to prove that he can get back to close to what he was in the bubble, be able to take over games for Miami, take the load off Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam. And I think with the addition of Kyle Lowry, it's going to help Tyler Hero. And of course, we can't ignore the fact that their head coach is Eric Spoelstra, one of the better coaches in the NBA. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this Miami Heat team? Do you think they can win it all this year? What is their ceiling? I do very well think they could win it all. Again, they wouldn't be my pick with a team like Brooklyn, but we will see what happens with Kyrie Irving, who missed his first practice earlier today with Brooklyn because of the unvaccination rules. But we'll see, because Philadelphia is not a threat at this point without Ben Simmons, and we don't know what they're going to get back from Ben Simmons. Then you have Milwaukee. If we're being frank, Milwaukee got lucky with how they played teams that were injured and so on and so forth. So we'll see. The East is still wide open. It's going to be very competitive, but it's going to be very exciting to see. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.